Hello, YouTube. Welcome again from my stoep, and I'm continuing to tell you about my awesome country, which I love. Without minimizing the problems, obviously, we do have problems, and we came a long way. But still, it's a very nice place to live. So, since my series on South Africa and apartheid, I was asked questions and comments, as you would see on the comments, and some of them I wish to address in this video. But before I do that, I'm smoking in my Zulu, appropriate, of course, from Piet and Paul, and I'm smoking the last bowl of a Mississippi River that Leo Luck has sent me. So this is a shout out to Leon Luck. This was really a very nice tobacco, I must say. I enjoyed it a lot. So one of the questions were whether there were any white South Africans against apartheid. And even whether they were Afrikaans-speaking people against apartheid. And the answer is yes, plenty. The opposition at the time was the Progressive Party, Helen Suzman. So many resistance from white people against the apartheid regime. But in terms of voting, just amongst the whites, of course, black people was not allowed to vote. The National Party managed to retain its majority. So, but even outside of politics, there were plenty of white people, and I suppose it is as you get educated and as you join a university and start reading and studying international academic books, it kind of opens up your eyes, and then some would realize, no, but this is not sustainable, this is not correct, this is not how it should be. And as I explained in my previous video, that as I became understood the heart of God and Christianity, I started realizing, but this is just not how it should be. So I suppose that's how it happened. There were plenty of Afrikaans people also against apartheid. They were in the ANC. They were people that were white and or Afrikaans speaking. So yeah, they were also from the white and Afrikaans community opposition against apartheid. One thing that I also should maybe just share with you is, after 1994, Desmond Tutu proposed a truth and reconciliation process in which he wanted to reconcile all the wrongs that was done from both sides, in terms of because even from in the resistance from the black side, everything didn't always go well, and there was also human rights violations on that side. So it's just war is for everyone bad, and things go wrong in that process. So it was a brilliant process. Unfortunately, in my opinion, this should have gone further than only giving. Reconciling the war part of the old South Africa. I think it should have gone, continue to also reconcile the normal public, because that is, in my opinion, today one of our shortcomings, is that they're still not fully reconciled amongst all people, all populations. You'll always find a community who is more right or more racist in both on both sides. So I wish that process could have gone further than only dealing with the political prisoners and the official war side of it. But speaking of the Truth and Reconciliation process, what came out there was even more appalling. I think that's also a good thing of the Truth and Reconciliation process, is that even neutral people, I hope, heard what was done in the name of apartheid, and that probably and hopefully that caused them to realize it was the biggest atrocities that you could have. It just couldn't be. It couldn't be correct. It couldn't be the right thing to do and to keep on doing. So that was probably a good thing for white people to realize what exactly happened and how bad it was. So that was one thing which I think was a good thing. And then other questions which someone asked was, on whether the ANC of today is still upholding the vision of Mandela. And personally, I think not. Maybe on paper they still uphold, obviously, all those values, but 20 years down the line, the ANC has departed from some of those objectives that was, that's in our constitution, which was written then in 1994, the new constitution, as well as in the normal human rights declarations that they made during the years of opposition. Because there's a lot of things that's not going well, and reconciliation is not, is not moving forward. You will still find people making public speeches and referring to, white people being so, or white people being racist, or black people being racist, or so. It's not as if they work hard in dealing with reconciliation and dealing with a free and open society. The latest now is that they want to start limiting the journalist in what they write. For example, one comment was made that all news must be at least 70% good news. Now, if there's corruption, you need to report it, but they obviously want the journalists to not report all those things. They want to, again, like the National Party did, and like the regime, they want to start controlling what is being written. And that is one of the key principles of democracy. So I do believe that that they are slowly but surely slipping from those principles of human rights and democracy and things like that. And they will obviously fight it. Any ANC person watching this video will definitely not agree with me. But that's what's happening, and we see it in the in the economical issues. We see it in the rand doing worse and worse and worse against the dollar exchange rate. We see it in non-investments of companies in South Africa due to things that they hear from public speeches. So yeah, that's a worrying factor, and that's some of our problems. Someone else also asked me about the problems in South Africa. Yes, we've got a lot of problems. As I said already, we have not reconciled yet as we should have. There's still a lot of communities that experience racist, vibes or against each other. We still see too much color. Someone will drive in front of you and do a silly thing, and you will immediately think, as a white person, oh, it must be a black person, or a black person will think, oh, it's obviously a white person. Instead of it's just another person driving bad. So those things, and corruption, there's still a lot of corruption and nepotism, families being appointed in positions. Crime is still very high, which causes a problem. Unemployment is still a huge issue in South Africa. The growth rate is very bad, or not as it should be, not in such a way that we can alleviate poverty and unemployment and those things, which will then address, for example, also the crime rate, because a lot of people steal because they actually, there's no work, and they need to eat and stay, and so yeah, we've still got a lot of problems. And I think one of the biggest problems is that the black elite has enriched themselves at the cost of the country as a whole. Maybe white elite also, in general, maybe, let me just say in general, you know, South African elite, the rich, has enriched themselves more at the cost of, you know, of really reconciling and providing to everyone. So yeah, we still have a long way to go. We still have a lot of problems that we need to address too, but I'm hopeful. I've seen a lot of signs which makes me maintain my hope that we will get over this. I said also in one of my previous videos that it might take more than a generation to fix these things, because there was a huge backlog in education and in you know, in living conditions, and it might not only take 10 or 20 years to fix, but maybe longer than that. So yeah, I hope I've addressed most of your issues and concerns. I hope this was a worthwhile series for you. At this stage I'm finished, unless there's new questions that might come up. But yeah, thank you for watching them all. Thank you for all your comments and your interest in South Africa. It's still a nice place to stay in. It's still a very, very nice place to come to. So if you're a tourist and you want to come and have a look, you're more than welcome. It's a brilliant, brilliant place and country to be in. So thank you for watching and subscribing, and yeah, enjoy your smoking. So on that note, friends, thank you and bye-bye.